And this is my picnic basket shirt, just so we're clear. Some people are snack. I'm an entire picnic basket.
What you want? What you want?
What's up, YouTube? FatKingsTV coming at you for my week 231 update from Vertical Sleeve Gastrectomy, which I had back in July of 2013, 6 years ago today, which is the reason I'm making a video, and have not since. I know I have not since the beginning of the year. And it's crazy. It's crazy kind of how this year has gone. And I say year, I mean more from the perspective of last July to this July. But yeah, even in terms of just 2019. So yeah. So where am I at? So basically, I'm at 233.4 pounds. I seem to hover around that pretty consistently. I've been trying to get back under 230, and I just cannot seem to do it. And I've been really beating myself up a lot about that. I've been definitely trying to. I feel like it's some kind of failure, right? But see, that's the funny thing about keeping years and years of data. Sometimes you can go back and do some analysis and decide, wait a minute, maybe I'm being an idiot. So I thought it'd behoove us to take a little journey down amnesia lane and talk about that. So I just want to give you guys kind of a year by year, end over end here. This video might be a little long, probably heavily edited. Certainly I feel weird even doing it. I feel like I'm not really that relevant at this point of the game, but I know there are still a few people who reach out and ask about me and follow me still. So okay, cool. Well, I'm happy to do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna come back weekly like I used to, but I'll pop in every now and again. At least do the year in review of surgiversary, I guess. I hate that word. And then maybe like the year in review at the end of just a calendar year. But we'll see. Last time I came to you, I was 226, and now I'm 233. So how do I feel about that? Yeah, obviously I'm a little bit frustrated by that. That being said, I want to put it into context. So in no way am I explaining it away, and I think this will all make more sense as we go. Year one, got down, I lost all my weight about 9 to 10 months. I was probably more like 10 months in. Before I got to my lowest, but I'd say I started that year, year two, the year after it got to my 1 year anniversary, if you will, but starting that year, I started at 213, I ended up at 212. So that was a pretty consistent year, pretty straight across. And I got down to 201 at one point, but let's say that 213, 215 was really my goal weight. And I felt when I got down to about 200, 201, I looked like a bobblehead. I did not like that at all. I felt very weak. I felt very frail. I was very self-conscious about the idea of getting under 200 pounds, which really freaked me out. I remember that. Year three, so from year two forward, I started at 212, obviously, and I ended up at 231. So that's a pretty big jump. But I would say that's that 20-pound regain that everybody pretty much talks about. So I'm not really, you will have that happen usually. You'll get to your lowest low and you'll bump back up. Now from my lowest low, technically I was almost 30 pounds, but I think my actual goal weight was a 215. Now, what did I change? Well, obviously I did a lot of different type of working out. I definitely could eat more. I definitely eat differently. So, I'm not going to say that was all just from beefcaking out or anything. No way, no how. But that moves us into year four. I started at 231.6. I ended at 230. Another flat year. Year five, I started at 230. I ended up at 231. So I just swapped the year before. And this year I started at 231.6 and I'm 233 today. So that's pretty consistent. Like that is really pretty consistent for the last 3 years. And again, I think the year where I was at my lowest was that first year after I hit my 1 year surgery anniversary. So that's interesting. So what is different from like this year to last year? So this last year, again, I started at 231.6, which was in July of 2018. Lots had gone on then. I was not in a very good space emotionally, mentally, coming off a relationship. Left with a lot of questions. Not the best body composition at that point. That 231. Was very unhappy. That's when I really started my recommitment to the gym hardcore. I recommitted myself to working on my personal growth, my mental growth, my emotional growth. I intentionally stayed single during that time, from like the June timeframe up through January-ish. And even then, we'll talk about that later. But let's start with the gym. So I started that year My bench was 125, 4x6, so 4 sets of 6. My pull-ups were negative 17 pounds, 4x6. So I take 70 pounds off my body weight and do pull-ups. My triceps were 80 pound, 4x6. So I had to stack 80 pounds, both arms, with the rope. My curls were 20 pounds each arm, 4x6. Today, even with my goofy injury, which is going to prevent me from moving forward, but we'll talk about that in a minute too. My bench is 255, 4x6. My pull-ups are body weight, 4x6. My triceps are 155, which is the full stack, 4x10. I can't put any more weight on that stack. I'd have pretty much have to increase. I'd have to go to one arm ones, which I think is what I'm going to do if I want to make any further gains there. And my curls are 45 pound dumbbells, 4x8s. So massive amount of improvement for a 3 pound weight overall weight gain. If I'm doing that kind of extra work in the gym, it's amazing. Like I'm really happy. I have never been this content with my strength, parts of my physique. I still got some issues with body image, but all in all, like my shirts pull at the top. They don't pull across the stomach. You know, like that the shoulders and the chest has really come in. That's a muscle group I always had a hard time with. Back's very strong, obviously, if I'm doing pull-ups. Biceps, triceps. I've never had big arms. I just, they're strong, but I just never been very big. So I would like a lot more definition. I would really like to find a way to just kind of shave off some of that body fat to get a little more definition. But so far I have not, that has not been a successful thing for me. And ironically, my beard just changed back to brown, which is amazing. Just like naturally, which is a story in and of itself. Yeah, don't leave beard dye in and then start messing around with your Bluetooth trying to get it to work on something and lose track of the time, because you end up with a black beard and then you have to shave it super short like this to even get the gray hairs to even show back up a little bit. I just was trying to knock the gray to a darker gray. I digress. So okay, let's talk about the reality of 6 years out. So I feel like I'm struggling as much to take off 5 pounds as I was back in the day at 360 trying to lose, anything. The struggle's real still. That's not going away. I still watch what I eat every day. I count my calories still. I get frustrated just like I did before, like, oh, nothing's working, so I'm just gonna have a blah blah blah. And I set myself back. I have to force myself to go to the gym. I have to, like, this shit does not change. This is going to be forever. So if you think that there's some magical spot you're going to hit where it all just gets so easy and I can just go about my life and I can have a piece of cake here and there and I can go out drinking with my buddies and have some beers and this and that and the other thing, I'll be eating smaller amounts, so it will be so easy, it won't even be effort. Nope, that is not your fate. Unless you truly just were somebody who just were completely an overeater. Like you would have been skinny, but you just ate, and the tool just keeps you from doing that. I'd still say you can eat around the tool. You could eat every hour, you could eat every 30 minutes, whatever. So I would warn you, the struggle continues to be real. I still have body issues. I do not like as much as I am. I look at my legs, I look at my, my chest, my arms, my back, the things I can do, and all I see is loose skin around the midsection, the loose skin around, I don't really care so much about loose skin like under my arms because it's not as bad, or at the, backside of where my leg meets my ass. That's all normally covered up. I don't see that, but the loose skin around my midsection, the rolls, the all that stuff that like spills over, you can see it, you can see it through your shirt, you can see it over the top of your pants. That shit still bothers me. And could I go in and get plastics for it? Yeah, but then I feel like, okay, if I'm gonna do that, I should be as lean as I possibly can be. And then I start trying to drive myself down to be as lean as I can be again before I would have that, even consider that surgery, and then I can't move the needle, so I get in this, vicious cycle. That's my reality. May not be yours. The biggest thing I've maintained and am happy about, although there was a little bit of a slowdown there, which really frustrated me, was the mental and emotional gains that I've made. Working in counseling, working with just, being a good student of highly productive people, basically putting mentors into my life, lots of TED Talks, things like this, like watching videos of people that I find to be inspiring or to challenge me has been huge to my self-esteem, huge to what I need out of life, and has really changed my dynamic with a lot of situations and people. I do not react the same way I used to. I am not so eager to try and prove I'm a good dude or or to undo some wrong, or to prove some in truth true. Like, I don't have that need to convince other people. Like, we'll get to that in a minute. So I mentioned a couple of things. Injury, yeah, I've injured my wrist. I don't know. I think when I was in Destin, Florida, on kind of a friends/family vacation, I fell carrying a cooler down a boat ramp. It was all concrete. I landed kind of funny. I think I fractured my wrist. I had a brace for a while. I was feeling better. I went back to working out. I jacked it back up. I let it rest for a while. I was feeling better. I went back to working out. I jacked it back up. So I'm probably going to have to get in and do something about that, because it's now impacting my ability to bench. And it's definitely impacting my ability to do pull-ups comfortably. I'm not going to make any gains there. My goal was to get to 275 on the bench by my birthday in October. I think that's going to be a far cry. That's 20 pounds from where I'm at right now. And at that level, it's not going to be easy already. And if it's like I got a problem in my wrist where it hurts and burns like that, probably not going to happen. But that's okay. We're going to modify. I'm adding more interval training back in, see if I can't get a little bit of a cut. Not looking to necessarily lose weight, but just to like lean out per se. So that's kind of my goal. Again, I warned you guys this video might be really long. So these are the kinds of things I'm just thinking about. So that's kind of where things have changed. Plastics, I mentioned briefly what I do it. I'm no more sold on it now than I was before, in the sense of like, the money is not really the issue. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money and it ain't chump change, and I don't just have that money laying around. But if I wanted to make it a priority, I'd make it a priority. The time off is more of an issue. The time off the gym freaks me out. So I'm still in that same space, but I think every year I'm a little bit more open to the idea. Let's leave it that way. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm getting closer. Maybe by the time I'm 80. I still have a very critical voice running through my head, and I have my whole life. Like, there's a voice in there that is constantly critiquing myself, and this was pointed out actually in counseling. I already knew it was there, but I didn't know that wasn't normal. So I didn't know that was bad. So that's always going on. There's a lot of self-abuse there still that hasn't really changed. And the irony is, I was thinking about this today, old me would kill to be this guy, and yet I still am judging myself with the same yardstick, just at another level. It's so weird. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe some of you it'll make sense, and the people that it does make sense to probably it'll be like, aha, yes, I'm not the only one. But yeah, but again, if you told 2012 me, which I posted a bunch of pictures today up on Instagram of 2012 me, that I would be here in 2019, I thought you were crazy. I think about all the things I've done in the last, some things I can't even mention here, but like, the things I've changed in my life, not just the weight is one thing. Yes, and there are amazing things I can do now with my body, and places I've been able to go because I can physically, handle it. But I was not an inactive guy when I was a big guy. I just wasn't this. I didn't have this kind of access. This just opened up more doors to me. Sorry, handheld, by the way. I was gonna mount it on a tripod and everything, but don't have the room. I've had big successes, personally, professionally, emotionally. I've gone through relationships. I've learned things I probably should have learned back in my 20s. That's a little bit of a bitter pill to learn it late in life. I wish I had these experiences earlier in life when there was less risk, when it would have mattered more, those kinds of things. But you take the good with the bad, and you just take the benefits now. Like, better to have them now than never, right? So, I think about the home I've put my family into, the position my ex-wife and I are in is good. She's in a good place. I'm in a good place. My kids are doing well. My home is established. My retirement is established. All these things are all established. I have my ducks all in a row. I feel very established as a man. I feel very confident as a man as to having done the right things for my family, myself. Always working on myself, always growing, always trying to be better. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. See, there's that critical voice. But yeah, I have had amazing opportunities and adventures and crossed paths with amazing people that have changed my life so much for the better. Trying not to get a little choked up here. That I would not undo it. I wish I had done it sooner. If there's anything that makes me go, oh, good thing I did it when I did it, was I would not have met these exact people. And I especially think about a handful of people that, if I didn't know those people now, my life would be so much worse off. And you know who you are. I think it's easier for me to accept others as they are through this whole journey. I think I see how everybody's kind of broken in their own way, their limitations, and I don't judge them for it. I just kind of accept it. Like, you're like, well, so-and-so can't do X because they just had this, and, you know, like, that's not about me, it's not about them, it's just, that's them, you know, like, and you just gotta love them for who they are, you know, like, you love them the way they are, and you like, you can reach out and kind of offer a hand, or you can offer some insight, but they got to be willing to hear it, or want to talk about it, or want to address the issue, or they're fine with that issue. Maybe right now that they're just fine with their issue. Hang on, I gotta switch hands. I am kind of anxious about what now. I'm coming up on my 48th birthday here in October, and kind of like, wow, man, like I'm closer to 50 than 40. I just went through my 20s, 20s during my mid 40s. You know, so I'm looking forward to my 30s and my 50s. No, in all honesty, I mean, I'm at the place where both my kids are going to be, my son will be out of college in 2 more years. My daughter will be going into college. You know, like, now what? I'm a single guy, not seeing anybody currently. You know, what is my fate? Where am I going? What's going next? What's the next step? You know, like, what now? My career's okay. I mean, I dislike it. I love what I do. But is it my passion? Is that what I was intended to do? Do I just ride this out until I retire and then what? Like, I want to do stuff now while I can. Like, I mean, I feel like I was held back for all those years with all that weight. So I continue to have that kind of like sense of urgency. Like, I got to get this done. Not done, but I got to do things now while I can. And I try and balance that against, well, I need the money and the time to do it. So it's just kind of an interesting dynamic. I'm always scared about slipping backwards. Obviously, if I've been beating myself up about being consistent for the last 4 years, and I feel like I'm failing because I'm being consistent, that's crazy. And I think about the body I have even now versus the body I had this time last year, and I can look at that objectively and be like, holy crap, you are so much better shape. And I had somebody even comment as much not too long ago, but I'm still like feeling like a failure because I'm over that 230 pound mark for some reason. That scale still owns me, still has weight over me, pun intended. So yeah. The other thing is, along this journey, especially like, and we're talking about kind of learning all those things you should have learned in your 20s and your 40s. You know, when you make mistakes in your 20s, it's a big deal. When you make mistakes in your 40s, it seems to have a much bigger impact. It has a broader ramifications. You know, not detrimental, but like bigger. They feel bigger. And I tend to abuse myself when, you know, I've made those kinds of choices that I'm like, maybe that wasn't for me. But, you know, back in my 20s, big deal. No harm, no foul. In my 40s, it's like it has impacts, and I worry about how it impacts other people, and, everything. There's all other aspects of my life. Like, I'm somebody's dad. I'm somebody's, boss. I'm somebody's, like, I gotta be careful. Like, it matters differently. I'm not just some dumb 20-year-old kid who, I made a mistake and move on, I don't like hurting people. I wouldn't like hurting people at 20 either, but, if we would have the excuse of youth, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but maybe you guys are kind of getting what I'm saying, is like, everything just feels bigger as you get older. But on the flip side of that, like, I think the people that really know you know that your heart's pure and your intent is good, and when you screw up, you screw up, and if you own your screw ups, you own your screw ups. Like, okay, I'd handle that differently, or I'd do this differently, or that wasn't for me, or you know what, yeah, no, that's not gonna work for me. At the same time, people will choose to believe, I guess this is how I want to put this, people are going to choose to believe what they want to believe about you, regardless or because of your actions. You know what I'm saying? In other words, like, they may know you frontwards, backwards, sideways, and still need to choose to believe something bad about you so that it fits in their paradigm. And I don't mean that in their being shitty. I mean that is what they need right now. They need to believe that about you because they can't face whatever it is that the opposite would mean. I'm being very vague, I know. You didn't think I was not going to bring back Vague Book. Come on. But I'm just trying to put this in a very contextual, big picture kind of thing. And I'm okay with that. You know what? Believe me, don't believe me. Like me, don't like me. This is, I think, the biggest change in me. Like, I am not here to prove my innocence or prove to you what a great guy I am. My job is to just live my life with integrity and own my mistakes when I make them, and do the right things. And the people that are your fans are gonna be because you live that way. The people that are not your fans are probably not the people you should be trying to impress anyway. What you do is not dependent on how people perceive you. It's how you look at yourself in the mirror, right, and how you lay alone in the dark at night. It's easy to say too. Don't get me wrong. This sounds so flippant. I know it's not. It's not easy at all. It's sad when people don't believe in you, the people you care about, and they want to see the negative, or they need to see the negative. It's sad, but that's not about you. And so you gotta kind of accept that and move on. Biggest shift in my thing. I've always been trying to be a people pleaser, trying to make people like me, making sure that nobody thinks ill of me. Very milquetoast. I think it's better for you to stand on your beliefs and stay with your beliefs, and let the people that respect that gather around you, and the people that don't, walk away. They're not your people anyway. I don't mean that easily. It's gonna hurt when some people walk away, for sure. You're gonna lose people you don't want to lose in that process, but it's just par for the course. I don't know. I hope that makes sense as well. I'll tell you, the other thing I've really noticed over this journey is that there's one commodity in life. There's only one commodity. And you can exchange that commodity, and people do it every day. They exchange that commodity for money. They exchange it for all kinds of other things of value. But you can never convert back to it, and that's time. The time you spend on the things you choose to do, you're never getting back. The time you spend on people that you choose to spend that time on, you cannot convert that back. You cannot get the time back. You can't say, oh, that was a mistake of me spending that time investing in that person, or in taking that job, or in missing that opportunity, or whatever, because you can't get the time back. You can't say, oh, wait, I'm going to trade the opportunity back for the time. So give me that time back so I can have a do-over. There's no reload. There's no quick load in life. So be careful where you spend your time, and appreciate the people that spend the time in you, because they can't get that time back. They gave you their most precious commodity, and they can't get it back. And I just that's really been striking me a lot lately. That's been a common theme that keeps popping up for me. And I think the only other real commodity, and I've been struggling with this a little bit, is like, the love you give people. Like, you can't demand, like, I can create a product and say, okay, I need $12 for this thing. If you want to buy it from me, I'll sell it to you for $12. Now you may be willing to go out and work, let's say a little side job and make $12, and you say, well, the time that I gave up was worth the $12 to give to Phil for the thing that I really wanted. And I can demand $12. And basically what I'm doing is I'm demanding whatever time it took for you to make that $12 is what I'm really demanding. But demand is a strong word. Offering, let's put it that way. But the other commodity I think that you cannot demand and you can only be given, and it can't ever be getting back, is love. Like, you can love somebody for who they are and what they are, but you can't demand that they love you back. That you can't demand. Is this making sense? I don't know. Like, that is just a commodity you give away for free. I think it's the only true charity. Let's put it that way. How about that? I like that better. Time is the only commodity. Love is the only real true charity. It is the only selfless true charity. So that's your big thought for this video, and I'm gonna wrap it up. I kind of had a little setback with my emotional personal growth. I felt like I kind of flattened out a little bit, but just recently I started to feel it tick up again. I think I've kind of come out the other side, and I'm starting to see that growth again, and I'm really excited about that, because I was kind of down in the dumps about the fact that I hadn't been making the big leaps and bounds that I had made late last year. Huge growth opportunities, and and there's been some struggles this year without a doubt. But I had some amazing opportunities to go to Australia again, going to having Mel and her girls out here. I was just talking about this today, like how much that meant to me, and how we will probably never get that opportunity again. Those kids will never be that age again to go to Disneyland and all the things we did, and for me to go with my daughter and her not being working at the time and stuff like that, and being still young enough to want to travel with Dad and go see all these cool places and experiences. So I'm very grateful for that stuff, and I'm just trying to live a drama-free life, guys. It's so much easier said than done, because I think, and to be honest, like, there is a certain degree of drama that you feed on, because it's attention. Drama can be attention, and when, I really think about coming this from who I used to be, and that people pleaser and stuff, that the drama was attention, the drama was, keeping me engaged, keeping me relevant, and the last, I'd say 6 months, maybe even before that, but I have so purged my life of that kind of drama, and my attitude has changed so much about the way I view people and situations and motives and things like that, that when it comes along now, it feels gross. Like the drama feels, it's hard not to get sucked into it, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's still those old tendencies, but I think I really quickly caught it. This last time I had some drama, I quickly caught what was going on, and I'm like, no, that's not the issue here. The issue is this deeper thing and why that happened. And I let the drama kind of be the surface stuff that I just, scraped off the top, and went after the core thing and just dug down and asked people, hey, why do you think this happened? And why do you think that came up this way? So if you can do that, I would urge it. It's a little tricky in the social media world not to get sucked up in the drama. I'm down to just Instagram, guys. I mean, I have a Facebook account for chat with my friends, but that's about it. I try not to go on Facebook at all. Matter of fact, I had it closed off for a while. I probably need to close it down again. But every once in a while I pop on there and see pictures of people who don't post on Instagram. So the second I see something that irritates me, politically or otherwise, I just immediately shut it. I'm not addicted to checking it every 5 minutes like I used to be. So that's been very good for me. But I understand that's not for everybody. So all right, guys, I hope you're doing well. I've been watching a lot of you. I've been watching so many of you doing so well. Everybody I thought was going to kick it in the butt just did it. You guys kicking it, killing it, doing it right. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys keeping me motivated on the working out. I see you. I know the struggle's real. I appreciate the fact that you guys are getting up every day and doing the work. I hate to tell you it ain't going to change anytime soon, but you already have the mental fortitude to do it. You're already doing it. Just keep doing it. All right, until next time, you guys remember, it's good to be a king.